Hey everybody, it's Justice for Comics. What's going on? It's Thursday night. It's time for the Thursday night comics live stream. Going to be going over several things tonight. I'm going to first off review last week's CBSI Hot 10 list, go over that. I'm also going to pull up some December solicitations, books, new books that are coming out that were just released. Go through some of those listings, the Marvel, DC, some of the independents, give you an idea of what it might be worth, preparing for pre-ordering if you like to pre-order books, especially if there's a incentive variant that you want. Yeah, I'm going to go over that, give you my take on what I think might be worth setting aside and pre-ordering. Yeah, so let's dive into it. I'm sure we'll have a few join us as the night goes on. I did send out early notifications on Instagram, but I didn't get a chance to do that on YouTube as early as I wanted to. Yeah, so we'll see. We'll see how many people join us in the chat. All right. So far, we got GT Key Comic in the house. Very nice. All right, so let's take a look at the CBSI Hot 10 list. We'll start off with the honorable mentions first. Now, again, this is not written by Ben Stein anymore. Ben Stein in CBSI had a parting of the ways. Ben Stein has his own YouTube show now. So make sure you check him out if you still like Ben's take on books. I probably won't review Ben Stein's list because I don't think he has a website. At least I'm not aware of a website. Maybe he uses Instagram or something. But he his format is just using his YouTube channel, which is fine. But I kind of need a website like CBSI's format where I can pull up the website, look at the books, and go over the commentary. Versus I'm not going to play somebody else's YouTube channel and chime in. I don't really want to do that. All right, so here's the honorable mentions from last week. Mask Comics number 1, 2.0. What did it sell at? $7,300. Man, it's a beautiful cover though by LB Cole. Just a beautiful cover for the time. Again, this is a 10-cent book. What, it came out in probably the 1950s when this book came out. Pre-code horror. All-time high sale in this grade at $12,600. Man, $12,600 for a 2.0. Wow. So that just happened. $12,600 for a 2.0. I mean, it is a great cover. I've seen that cover before, and I remember thinking, man, that's a freaking awesome cover. But man, $12,600 for a 2.0. Wow. It's crazy. So I guess that makes the guy last year that bought it for $7,300. He seems pretty happy right now. He's got a nice gain on his book. Yeah, it's just one of those books that, let alone finding it graded, finding it in decent condition. 2.0 is definitely not decent condition. That's been through the ringer, as you can see on the. I don't know if you can see too well on that, but the corners are chipped off, and yeah, it's definitely been through the ringer, that book. But yeah, 12,600. That's just crazy. It's an awesome cover though. When are they going to do the reprint on that? I would definitely buy a facsimile of that book for sure. The other one listed here is Superman number 10, newsstand edition. I think I have the direct copy of that. Again, this was probably 2018, 2017 when this book came out, 2017. Newsstands were probably only in Barnes and Nobles, Books a Million, some of the few bookstores that were still alive. I know there's still Barnes and Noble stores, but they stopped selling comic books. I think 2018 was the last year they sold comic books. So yeah, definitely a hard book to find, newsstand. It's rare. Yeah, I mean, and by the way, Barnes and Noble would get maybe 3 copies per store of any particular book. It doesn't matter what it was. I remember this because back in the day, what was that last book that I went after that was newsstand was uh, I think it was Batman number 27. It was the engagement between Catwoman and Batman. And it was a popular book. I mean, it was going for like $25, $30 for a little while there. I don't think it is anymore, obviously. It's probably like a $10, $15 book. Uh, but I went around to all these Barnes and Nobles and the week it came out and was able to pick up 3 copies from about I think 6 different Barnes and Noble stores around the Tampa area. So I ended up accumulating somewhere around 20 copies, 18 to 20 copies. I sold like half of them and made a couple $100 profit and then kept the other half. So I still have, I don't know, maybe 5 to 6 copies newsstand of Batman number 27. And that was kind of the last time I remember them having newsstands because I think a few months later, or maybe 6 months later, that was it. Barnes and Noble stopped selling comic books completely. All they did was trade paperbacks, and that was it. So, yeah, there you go. $450 for a 9.8. This is the first Super Sons. Yeah, pretty interesting. All right, number 10 on the list is Werewolf by Night, number 1. This is the 1 in 50 cover by Adam Hughes. I believe I've got that book coming at some point in my Third Eye order. I paid $50 for it. You don't get any discount with Third Eye Comics. But it looks like it's selling between $75 to $95. I don't know if that's still the case at the moment, but as of last week it was. It's a good cover. It's not one of my favorite covers by Adam Hughes. I've got a really good cover to show tonight that I just got this week. It's a Kickstarter book cover by Adam Hughes. I'm going to show that. But yeah, it's a good looking book. It's a Werewolf by Night. I don't know if there's any new appearances in this issue. I should be getting that in the next week or so. Yeah, Adam Hughes still can draw. Has some draw power on his covers, no doubt about it. Number 9 is Spider-Gwen Annual number 1. This is the 1 in 100. I think I showed that off last week. I have that book in hand. I paid $100 for it, right at ratio, and it looks like it's now above $200 as of last week. 9.8 sold for $375. Someone pre-sold it, so I guess they're pretty confident they're going to get a 9.8 grade back. Can this climb higher? Yeah, I mean it's Ji-Hung Lee. It's a nice cover. Spider-Gwen, there's definitely a collecting base that buys a lot of Spider-Gwen covers. And if you're one of those people that collects a lot of Spider-Gwen covered books, this is definitely going to be a chase for you. But it's been out a few weeks now and still a hot book. Number 8 on the list is Moon Knight number 1. This has been on the list many times over the years. More, I don't know. Is that Moon Knight series from Disney Plus kind of dead? I think it is. I don't see a second season coming. I think that is done. Yeah, it didn't go over well with a lot of people. It had a lot of critics on it. It doesn't look like you're going to see any more Moon Knight Disney Plus series at this point. I think that show has been canceled. But there's still going to be people that want to collect the Moon Knight books. Obviously, this is not his first appearance, just the first solo title. Rare newsstands are hitting $75. CGC 9.8's well over $300. 2 weeks ago, they were $225, so there's a little movement on that book. Number 7 is Wolverine number 36. Yeah, beautiful cover by Stegman. Going for $60 plus this week. I think that was a 1 in 25 variant, if I'm not mistaken. There is going to be a second printing incentive cover, 1 in 25 incentive cover. I'm assuming they'll do Virgin variant of that. Maybe they'll do black and white. I don't know. I'm not too sure. I haven't seen the solicited cover of that yet. But selling around $30. There's been a number of sales on eBay. All right. Number 6 on the list is Uncanny X-Men number 266. First appearance of Gambit. I've got that book in my collection. I've got a pretty high grade. I think mine would be a 9.6. Maybe a 9.8 on a good day. Who knows? Mid to high grades, raws still sell in that 100 to 120 range. 9.8 hit a high of 825, but normally it sells around $700 range. It says, be careful of those facsimile reprints out there, as it can be tricky if you don't know what to look for. The facsimiles have the newer, smaller barcode and a modern cover price. Yep, most people know that. So if you can't afford the original, yeah, the facsimiles are nice to have. Number 5 is Heir to the Empire number 1. I think this is the first appearance of Thrawn. I probably had that book at one time. I probably sold it. I don't know. I had a bunch of Star Wars books. I still kept some of them. I think I have issue 2, the first appearance of Mara Jade? I know I have the first appearance of Mara Jade from that series, which was Heir of the Empire. I think it's issue 2. It's either issue 2 or issue 4. I can't remember. But I know I've got that one in the collection. But I don't have this one, unfortunately. The Ahsoka series, I did see the appearance of Thrawn. Yeah, I thought the actor did a good job. It was a good episode. Some of the episodes on that series are kind of good, and some of them are kind of blah, kind of boring. It's a mixed bag with that new Ahsoka series. I don't think it's the greatest. I think people were hoping it was going to be a lot better than it is, but I mean, that's what you get with Disney Plus these days. I don't know what to tell you. It's just the way it is. So that book will set you back a little bit, especially a newsstand. Yeah, newsstand's going to be definitely going for more money. But so far, I think people like the Thrawn character on that series. Number 4 is Heart Attack number 1. 50 plus sales in the last week. Most of those were at the end of last week for cover or less, but as it hits highs of 10 to 15 bucks, 9/8 went for over $100. This appears to be based on a recent option announcement for a possible TV series for this Skybound book. We'll have to see. Don't get your hopes up on option news. That definitely does not pan out most of the time. So yeah, don't throw crazy money at that. All right, number 3 is Harley Quinn, Black, White, and Redder, number 3. Sanford Green cover. It's definitely unusual. Catches the eye. Who's the editor of this again? Is this Pete? Peter. Yeah, Peter Pumpkin Eater. Peter says it catches the eye. I guess so. It has a gangster. It's not the most flattering picture of Harley Quinn. She definitely looks a little ragged in that picture. But I guess it does catch your eye because it is sort of unusual. Yeah, recent high sale at $70. Yeah, it's definitely selling at twice ratio right now. I'd say if you went on eBay, it's probably around 50 bucks. Maybe in another week or two, that'll settle back down a little bit. So if you want that issue, be a little patient. I think that will come down. Number 2 is Fish Flies number 2. This is the recalled version. I think that's the B cover. Is that the B cover? I don't know. I can't tell. It says the B cover was done by Kelly Jones. Copies started around cover, but quickly jumped to around $20 each, with sets selling as high as $50 for both covers. Be careful spending too much money in these airtight books, because even though Image asked for the copies to be destroyed as replacements are on the way, how many retailers actually destroyed these books? Yeah, probably not very many. So that's the thing too. These recalled books, very few of them actually hold their value. So I would say don't chase that. Wait a few months. You could probably get it for half of what it's selling for now, my guess. Number 1 is Wolverine number 37. This is the promo, 1 per store variant. Selling in the $50 to $80 range. I bought my copy from Midtown. I definitely paid at the higher end of that range, unfortunately. I've got it right here. I took the plastic off. I don't like the poly bags. I'm going to put this in the MyLite. It'll display much better. I could care less about keeping a comic book in a poly bag. And by the way, it doesn't affect the value. Ultimate Fallout 4 is a perfect example of not keeping your book in a poly bag. So that will go in a nice MyLite. Yeah, it's a nice cover by Capullo. I like it. There it is. Capullo definitely has a following. It's a virgin version of the regular cover, and it was given out 1 per store. Peter says that this may not be 100% accurate, as there are multiple distributors these days with Penguin, Diamond, and Lunar. I know a shop that got 1 each from 2 of those distributors. So there you go. Probably not real rare. That's why I think the price is settled around that $50 to $60 range. I definitely paid too much. I think I paid $90 on Midtown. Oh, well, it happens. I paid way too much for that. All right, there's your CBSI Hot 10 list, guys. Overall, it's a good list. I've got a couple books on there from the list, but not too many. It's a nice list. I like it overall. Peter did a good job on that, I think. All right. Now we're going to go to solicitations. Let me read the chat here. GTK Comic says the Hot 10 books are not the quick flip they once were. There was a definite market condition. I just have to text my wife. She's trying to call me. She doesn't know I'm doing a live stream. All right, GTK Comic, good point. There's a definite market correction, yes. There seems to be. Kenneth Bird says hi. Good to see you, Kenneth. All right, let me share my solicitation page. All right, this is firstcomicnews.com. I like this website. I definitely would bookmark this on your browser, especially if you want to just avoid pop-ups. And CBR I can't stand anymore. I can't stand Bleeding Cool either. They're really just shitty sites, terrible sites, pop-ups all over the place. This one doesn't have any of that. And they have a nice format for showing the solicitations per publisher. So if you go back to the main page, they have it broke down by all the different publishers, which is nice. So we're going to look at Boom Studios first. They got a book coming out in December called Animal Pound. Number 1. This is Tom King. Tom King is the writer. Tom King, he's had some good written books, some bad. I didn't like his take on Batman too much. Most people didn't. Sheriff of Babylon was really good. I mean, he's had. I kind of liked his weird take on what was it, Mr. Miracle, right? He did that Mr. Miracle series. I thought that was interesting. Now, he normally teams up with Mitch Gerads. Mitch Gerads usually does the art, and Tom King does the writing. But here he's decided to team up with Peter Gross. Peter Gross, this is their first collaboration between the two. Peter Gross has done art on American Jesus and the Books of Magic. I'm not that familiar with him, but he did do the main cover, which is right there, which looks pretty cool. There's a Sienkiewicz cover for you Sienkiewicz fans. There's a 1 in 50, and there's a 1 in 100 Scotty Young cover. That could be a hot cover. Scotty Young definitely has a huge following, and I wouldn't be surprised if that book goes for well over ratio at some point. I don't know. It's a small, again, Boom Studio. The only problem is I don't trust Boom Studios because a lot of times a book that you think is pretty rare will show up on their website. They have their own website, which I'm sure a lot of retailers don't care for. They have their own website, and a lot of times a book that you think is really rare will all of a sudden be on their shop website and not as rare as you thought. So just be aware of that. Sienkiewicz definitely has a following. So does Scotty Young. So I wouldn't be surprised if those books pre-order for more than double ratio easily. All right, the other book I wanted to highlight from Boom that's coming out in December is Book of Butcher. This is James Tynion and Dieldra doing the art and James Tynion doing the writing. I really enjoyed that book of the Book of Slaughter. So this is kind of a follow-up to that. It gives you more inside information into the different houses that make up this Slaughterverse. I think they're calling it Slaughterverse now, right? Something is Killing the Children has been a big book. Probably one of the few independent titles in the last, well, it started 5 years ago, but definitely in the last decade. I can't think of, I mean, way back, you got to go maybe The Walking Dead, right? That had a huge following. That book did really, really well. Obviously, it was driven a lot by the TV show. Prices are still pretty firm on those earlier books of Walking Dead. I think the same thing with Something is Killing the Children. The prices fluctuate here and there. They went down not too long ago. That's why I was able to pick up a few really nice copies of some of the books that I've been coveting for a long time. For instance, a few months ago, I picked up the 6th printing of Something is Killing the Children. That is definitely one of the more rare printings of #1. Definitely a lower print run than the A cover. Probably like the 4th or 5th lowest print run of any book in that series. So getting that at 9.8, yeah, that's a big book. That was an important purchase. The rarest book by far in that Something is Killing the Children series is the one that I picked up. Got a really good price on this. That's the only reason I bought this. This is definitely an expensive book. I've seen sales well over $2,000 for this book. This is Something is Killing the Children #6, the 1 in 25 Ginny Frizen sketch variant. This is definitely the lowest print run of all the incentive or exclusives in that series. And yeah, I wasn't going to mess around with a raw copy. I wanted to get this book. I had my eye on it for a long time, and I finally found it for under $1,000. And since I bought it, it's been definitely selling higher than $1,000 the last several sales. So right now, this is probably at least a $1,300 to $1,500 book. I got this under $1,000. So yeah, beautiful, rare. That's the rarest book of that series so far. And then the other one, yeah, I'll mention this one. This is another one of my prized possessions. It's not graded. I'm sure it would get a 9.8 grade though. I've never touched this book, never read it. It went into my light since day one. This is Something is Killing the Children I think it's number 8. I think it's number 8. Yeah, the 1 in 25 by DeCall. Definitely DeCall's best cover he's ever done. I don't think I mean, I like DeCall. I think he's a good artist, but he's never come close to this. So that's his Sistine Chapel, as they say. I have not seen him do anything quite as good as this. Just the composition of it, the way the trees are kind of bending out. I mean, it's a phenomenal cover. It's one of my favorite covers, and it's probably the third rarest book in that entire series. So there's definitely a lot of people that are target. If you want to target the rare books in that Something's Killing the Children series, those are the books you want to look for. Signature King, good to see you, my friend. Thank you for chiming in on the chat there. Thank you, sir. All right, let's get back to our solicitation. So Book of Butcher is coming out in December, and I'm interested in it. It's a deep dive into the House of Butcher, and a must-have for any Slaughterverse fan. Leading into the 5th anniversary of Something is Killing the Children, building on last year's Book of Slaughter, Maxine Slaughter steps into the spotlight on her journey from white to black mask. New Orleans is her destination. Yeah, it looks pretty good. So that's definitely one I'm going to grab. Probably just the A cover. I don't know if I'm going to pick up an incentive cover or not. There is a 1 in 50 by Ramon Perez. I'll have to take a look and see what that one looks like. I'm not sure if they've issued the art on that yet. All right, what else is coming out from Boom? That might be it. Oh, Stuff of Nightmares. Now, the reason I'm interested in this, I like a couple of these covers. The Frizen cover is nice. That's the one in the middle there with Santa Claus going through the window there. I do like this other one here. I think that one is by Miguel Micardo. I like that one. I think that's a regular B or C cover, so it's not an incentive cover. The Frizen is not an incentive either, but there is a 1 in 15 incentive cover. That's basically like a black and white version of that by Frizen. I did pre-order that. There's a really awesome Zoo or Zoo cover too, which they don't show pictured here. The yellow one here is nice as well. I like that one by Jay Lee. That one looks really cool. And the Jay Lee one is a 1 in 10. So there's also a 1 in 5 of that as well. So yeah. But the Zoo or Zoo is fantastic. Unfortunately, they don't have the picture of the Zoo or Zoo cover, but yeah, it's pretty nice. So that is one that, yeah, it's R.L. Stine. R.L. Stine is famous for writing Goosebumps. He's one of the best-selling, especially children authors. I mean, he's sold a ton of books over the years. So I'm kind of looking forward to this. Right in time for Christmas. Looking forward to that book. Power Rangers, man, there's a nice Berens cover. I love his covers, man. He's so good. He's definitely good at drawing some really creepy covers. I don't know if there's anything else worth mentioning from Boom. I think that might be it. I don't collect a lot of Boom Studios books. I did read that first issue of Hunt for Skinwalker. I don't know if you guys ever watched that Netflix show on the Skinwalker Ranch, but yeah, there's definitely some craziness going on there at that ranch. I don't know, if it's a portal to a different dimension. I don't know what the hell's going on there, but it's pretty crazy, all this stuff. It's been well documented that there's just bizarre stuff going on there. Yeah, it's worth watching on Netflix if you have the time. I think that might be it from Boom. Yeah, that's it. All right, let's move on to another publisher. Titan Comics. I don't know. Is there anything? I don't. Guma, the beginning of her. Ji-Hung Lee. Yeah, he had a Kickstarter years ago. I bought his. Actually, I remember getting his Kickstarter book for free. He wanted me to review it as a YouTube comic guy. Obviously he knew I had a YouTube channel. I asked him to come on the show, but I don't think his English is very good. So we never got that going. But he was nice enough to send me a free copy of his Kickstarter book that he did. But it looks like that's going to be published by Titan Comics now. So I don't know if it's going to be a different story or maybe it's a reprint of the original story. I'm not too sure, but Conan the Barbarian #6 will be out. Bloodborne, I definitely like this Bloodborne series. I did pick up the first issue of the Bleak Dominion. Cullen Bunn's a great writer. I mean, he's really good at writing horror type comics. And the covers on these Bloodborne, some of the covers are amazing. So yeah, I'm going to pick up probably one of the covers at least on that. I don't think they have all of them shown there. I think that's it. That's it from Titan. Not too much. They're not a big publisher. They come out with a few books here and there. Some of these publishers I've never heard of. I'm not going to dive into them. All right, let's look at Marvel. Is Marvel going to even show us anything? They usually don't show us any covers. They're rebooting Moon Knight. Yeah, I like the Capullo cover. That there'll be a 1/100 of that as well. There's a couple nice covers there. I don't know. Moon Knight. Jed McKay will be the writer. Alessandro Cappuccino. Yeah, nice Italian name. Cappuccino? I know it's not cappuccino, but it looks like cappuccino. I don't know. Maybe that'll be worth picking up. I'll probably at least pick up the Capullo cover. There's a couple nice covers there, though. Peach will be doing a cover. Scotty Young. 2 different covers by Capullo. Enhook Lee. Steve Morris. I don't know who Steve Morris is. All right, Amazing Spider-Man #39. You've got a nice X-Men #1 homage, Disney homage. The black and white's definitely going to be a hot book. I'm trying to collect most of the Disney covers. I'm not collecting all of them. I would like to get that one. So I don't know. What I've noticed is that they go for well over ratio in the first couple of weeks, maybe the first month. But if you're patient, they will show up below ratio. I don't know if this particular one will because there's so many X-Men fans that might buy that Disney black and white homage. But I'm going to probably wait on that to see if I can get it below ratio because I've seen a lot of these that I've paid $100 for are selling around $75 to $80 now. So yeah, I'd rather pick that up for $75-$80 than $100. So, but that is one I would like to have because eventually, wouldn't it be nice if I on the back wall here I do a show and I have all my Disney covers on display behind me? Yeah, I think that would be nice. It's kind of a little dream of mine. I have 4 or 5 of them, so I've got a good run of them. I don't have all of them yet, but I'm scheming to do it. I'm making plans to do it. All right, what else from Marvel? Spider-Woman. I don't know about that. There'll be a Nakayama cover. That might be worth looking at. Luke Cage. That's a mini series. Issue 2 will be out in December. Carnage #2. Spider-Boy. Spider-Boy #2 will be out in December. So far, I think people are fans of Spider-Boy, as far as I can tell. There'll be different covers. I'd like to see all of them. The Humberto Ramos covers, I think those are displayed. EJ Sue, I don't know if that one. I kind of like this snowboarding one though. Yeah, the Ski Chalet by Ramos. There'll be a Virgin cover of that too. That looks kind of cool. I like that. Punisher #2 will be out. I don't know. I kind of feel pissed off that basically Marvel destroyed the Punisher. So I'm probably not going to be getting that. Daredevil Black Armor #2 will be out. This is a 4-issue miniseries. I don't know much about it. I may have an order in on the first issue, so we'll see how that goes. I don't know if I'm going to commit to buying a second issue or not. White Widow, I think this is all cover buys. I don't think anybody's even going to read the book. Sarah Gailey is the writer. The book is probably going to be terribly written, but People will buy it for the covers. There's a couple nice peach covers. A covers by Marquez. Yep. I think there's an art germ. Well, for number 1, there was an art germ, 1 of 100. Gods number 3, Jonathan Hickman. I do have an order in on the first issue. I'm going to read it, see if I like it. I don't know if I'm going to continue to buy it or not. We'll see how that first issue goes. But we'll see. Maybe it's good. I do like those covers by Matthias Mahany. They look nice. Marvel Zombies Black, White, and Blood number 3 will be out in December. Man, that peach cover is crazy looking. Look at that thing. I don't know if I can show that. There you go. Look at that. It's crazy. What the hell's going on there? Ugh. Eyeballs are so weird, aren't they? My Lord. That would probably gross me out if I ever see an eyeball pop out of somebody. Obviously I've never seen that, but I don't know that I could handle that. I probably would bend over throwing up if I saw that. It's pretty nasty. Sensational She-Hulk number 3. A covers by Bartel. Yeah, it's okay. I don't hate it. Cap Wolf and the Howling Commando. I don't know. This seems like a complete silly premise. There's the Ryan Brown cover. Spine-tingling Spider-Man. All right. Some of these I'm going to just breeze through. They're bringing back Sentry. Issue number 1 will be out. I would like to see what the Scotty M cover looks like. I do have the original Sentry series, that 4-issue or 5-issue miniseries. I think I have that. I have the San Diego Comic-Con variant. That's the big book if you want to collect the first appearance of Sentry. I think that's the one to get, is the San Diego Comic-Con variant. I have that book. I think I only paid like $50 for it back in the day. Probably one of those books I should get graded at some point. It's definitely a 9.8 candidate. Daredevil number 4. Yeah, I love that cover. That's by Ben Harvey. Man, that's a good cover. I like it. I like it a lot. That's the cover. I don't like John Romita Jr. I just don't care for his art style. I mean, that's terrible. It's terrible. That's the cover I'm going to buy for sure. That'll be on my pre-order list, the Ben Harvey cover for sure. Love that cover. X-Men number 29. This looks like a cool cover. I like Doom in the background there on that cover. Very nice. That is I think that's by Russell Dodderman. I like that cover. I think that's the one I would pick. Dark Droids. I mean, I've been enjoying that original series of Dark Droids. I think the first couple issues were really good. I enjoy it. I like it. And there's facsimile of Wolverine number 1, the miniseries. That's a good one. It's a good one to have if you don't have the original. I got that on the wall too. I think I got the 9.8. I got a 9.8 original of that, graded. What else, guys? I don't know. It's the typical Marvel books. Oh, I like this cover by Berens. Yeah, that's a good cover. That's definitely a cover by Ghost Rider number 21. There's the Cully Hammer cover. That one's pretty good too. I like the Berens cover a lot though. Star Wars Revelations number 1. I don't know about that. High Republic. The Mandalorian season 2, number 7. By the way, there's some nice covers coming out with New York Comic Con. I just got a couple notifications. I think Trinity Comics has a really nice Addie Granoff cover coming out for New York Comic Con. And of course, you know, they rope you in if you want to get there's gonna be a black and white sketch of it, but in order to get the black and white sketch, you have to buy the set that they're selling, you know, which will be $100 probably. If they're gonna rope you in. They're probably gonna rope me into that. I'm sure they will. These bastards. Darth Vader 41. I like this cover here. That's just a great Darth Vader cover. This is, believe it or not, this is a Behrens cover, I think. It's interesting. Yeah, look at the Dark Droids cover. There's a 1 in 100 of that right there. Darth Vader, that's pretty cool. All right. I think there's a reason I'm still scrolling through here. Maybe not. Yeah, the rest are all trades and hardcovers. Okay. So we're done with Marvel. Image. Let me see if there's anything from Image. This will probably be real quick. There's not a lot of Image books I pick up. Only a few. Let's see if there's any new Image books coming out that look interesting. Blood Drick number 1 is only 3. Yeah. I usually stay away from like 3-issue miniseries. It's too. I usually shy away from that stuff. Creepshow. Dark Ride. Oh, I do like this cover here. I think that is an homage to the Iron Giant. I believe it is. I did pre-order that one. I found one for about $30. It's a 1 in 25. I think that's going to be a hot cover. By the way, if you can see behind me, there's my my Iron Giant. I think I've talked about him. That is the rare blacked out version. So Mondo is a Japanese toy manufacturer, and they produce collectible toys often. And I think the regular gray one is very similar. Obviously, it looks the same. It's gray instead of black. The gray ones they only produced, I think, right around 300. 300 of those. So those go for anywhere from $400 to $500 or more for the gray ones. The black, there's only 50 of those in the world. So I literally waited 2 years to buy that toy, to buy that Iron Giant. 2 years. I found a seller. He was asking a lot of money, and believe me, he would not budge on the price. But I bought it anyways because I figured, who the hell knows when I'm going to see it again? Probably never. So yeah, I'm a big fan of the Iron Giant. It's a fantastic movie, especially if you got young kids. It's just a great family movie too. It's got a great story to it. It's just a very, very good cartoon, and I love that homage there, Dark Ride homage to that. So that's definitely one I pre-ordered one copy, and I'll probably grab another copy off of Midtown the week before it comes out. So that's one I plan on getting 2 copies of, and I won't sell them. So yeah, I like that cover. I love it. I'm all about it. So Dark Ride, that's issue 10. That's the 1 in 25 homage there to the Iron Giant. Deviant number 2, I did pre-order a couple copies of the first issue. Reason being, this is a James Tynion production. Also, I like the art of Joshua Hickson. He's done some horror books called The Plot. The Plot was a great story too. If you want to, I wouldn't collect the individual copies. There's no reason to. Just buy the trade paperback at this point. The Plot by Hickson is fantastic. So if you have some time, pick that up. Great horror book, great story, and Hickson's art's fantastic. So I like this collaboration here between Tinian and Hickson. I think this could be a really, really good book. So I'm going to be definitely collecting that. Is that it from Image? There might be a couple more things to acknowledge. G.I. Joe, Real American Hero. I don't know. Is people collecting that still? Gunslinger Spawn. I did read that first issue of Hexagon Bridge. It's definitely sci-fi. It's a little out there. I don't know. I could see them maybe making a movie or a TV show loosely based on the premise of that book. So I don't know. If you're a big bowling fan, Holy Roller might be up your alley. This is a guy that basically seems to, I guess he kills people with his bowling ball. I don't know. Seems a little silly. Might be a good read. Who knows? That'll be issue 2 will be out. Kill Your Darlings. I don't know if this is a good book to get. I've not picked up any of the first issues. Issue 4 will be out. I've heard some people say it's a good book. I don't know. If anybody knows, put that in the comments if you think you should, if that should be a recommended read. Let me know in the comments. Maybe I'll pick that up if enough people tell me I should. Man, there's just a lot of books. I didn't know Image produced this many books. I don't buy too many Image books. Ice Cream Man, that's definitely one that I buy every month, Ice Cream Man, because it's so well written by Maxwell Prince, W. Maxwell Prince. Spawn, I think I pick that up every month just because I'm an old Spawn fan. That's probably it, though. I can't think of any. Swan Songs, I've definitely been picking that up because of Maxwell Prince. I'm a big fan of his art, and I would love to get that incentive cover. I think that's a 1 in 50, or it might be a 1 in 25. I don't know. I think it might be a 1 in 25. It's got Ice Cream Man on the cover, so yeah, I'm going to try to pick that up if I can find it. Transformers, Discover Country, I think that's about it. World Tree, I think that's a good series to read. I don't think that there's any collectability really to the World Tree series. There's a couple nice covers here and there, but I think it's just a really good read. I don't know if this series is going to continue on and do really well, but so far I like the read on it. So yeah, I'm at least picking up A covers for the most part. That's it from Image. All right, DC solicitations. I'll spend a minute on this. We're coming up to my hour mark, so I probably won't be on for more than an hour. So I'll try to get through some of this. Oh, there's a nice Barins cover. Look at that. Cyborg. Oh, man. What issue is this? Titans Beast World number 2. Yeah, I like that Barins cover. Yeah, I like that cover. Ooh, that's a cover buy. I tell you, I don't think the reading of DC books is very good, but they have awesome covers. So, there's another Barins cover. Look at that. My God. There's a nice Raven cover by Barins. Yeah, they got some nice covers. You got a Lenticular by Bradshaw. Amazing. What the hell is this? What the fuck? What is this? Is that Harley Quinn as a bunny that's also pumped up on major steroids? I don't know what the hell's going on there. Beast World? I don't know. I don't know what DC is doing these days. I really don't know. I guess they're promoting this Beast World series. It's an interesting cover there. Aquaman cover. There you go. You got a little Christmas Postcard variant cover. Interesting. That's Titans number 6. Man. Godzilla, DC, there you go. King Kong, everybody's getting on the action these days. What is that cover? That looks like another. Who did that cover? I like a couple. Batman Off-World number 2. Mattina, I definitely know the Mattina cover. That's the Mattina cover. That's really nice. I like that. Beautiful cover by Mattina. That looks like, yeah, that's Mendoza. Jamie Mendoza, Doug Mankey, and Mendoza. This A cover, though, who the hell did that? Is that by, I like that A cover, though. That's pretty cool. Doug Mankey, I guess, right? Doug Mankey? I think it is. I don't know. I kind of like it, though. There's General Zod. Putting someone's skull out. Kneel before Zod. There's the Berens cover. That one's cool. Yeah, I mean, DC's, you got to give it to them. They at least do really good covers. I think the writing is pretty terrible, but their covers are phenomenal. They know what they're doing to attract purchasing, right? They get some really good cover artists. Santa Claus Silent Night number 2. Let's see, let me breeze through some of this. That's a good cover there. Who's that by? Derek Chew. Yeah, that was a Chew cover. I don't like these wanted poster covers. That doesn't do anything for me. Oh, that's a nice cover there. Who the hell is that villain again? It is it Lyrics Lee? I'm not sure, but I like that. I can't remember the name of the villain. One of Aquaman's villains. I can't remember the damn name of that villain. It's getting late, and I've been drinking bourbon, so the brain is a little soft right now. Let's see. Let's go through some of these. I'm just kind of looking at the covers here to see if there's anything that looks really, really good. There's a David Finch cover, Batman and Robin. There's a Cale No cover. That one's decent. Yeah. Uh-oh, we got a Poison. This is a Poison Ivy cover. What the heck? Poison Ivy's pregnant. Let's see a big belly there. Oh, there's an In-Hook Lee cover. That one's pretty nice. It's wild looking. Oh, there's a pretty cover there by Paquette, Yannick Paquette. Yeah, I think that In-Hook Lee cover could be hot. The 1 in 50 on that. That's probably going to be a hot book. Poison Ivy covers have been really good over the last year or so. Lyrics Lee, Harley Quinn. That's a good one too. This guy has that Saturday Evening Post homage. There's a Frizzen cover. That's okay. That's all right. There's an homage cover. Yeah, Mateus Mahaney, I think, is doing the 1 in 50. I think that's Mahaney. Is that Mateus Mahaney right there? I think that's the Mateus Mahaney cover. Yeah, that's a nice one. That's probably the one to get if you're planning on getting an incentive of that issue. This is a weird looking cover. What the hell? Look at that. Outsiders number 2. That is the Roger Cruz cover right there. Interesting. Penguin. I don't know. Is that the Penguin? That's an interesting cover. Who is it? That looks like Ben Oliver. Is that a Ben Oliver cover? Let me see. I'm gonna guess that's a Ben Oliver cover. Uh, yeah, I think it is 1 in 25 by Ben Oliver. That's the. I was right. That's the Ben Oliver cover. It's interesting. There's a Christian Ward cover. Another Batman cover. Batman 89 Echo. There's so many Batman books. Yeah, this one's really nice here. This is a Superman book, I think. Superman. Damn, how many covers do they have? Superman number 9. Yeah, the Nathan Serdsey cover. I know that's going to be a hot cover right there. Yeah. That's going to be a good cover. Yep. Expect that one to be expensive for sure. Got a good feeling it will be. I think that's a Bermejo cover right there. That one's nice. All right. What's this next one here? Superman number 10. Batman, Superman, World's Finest. Opinia. I think that's an Opinia cover right there, right? The regular black and white. I don't know. That's a Masaref cover. Oh, that one looks interesting. That looks like an Ariel Cologne cover. No, maybe not. That might be a yeah. No, that's a Stephen Beach cover. Very nice. Kind of like the Beach cover. That one looks pretty cool. Got Constantine in the background there. That's very nice. Very interesting. All right, I'm not a big buyer of Superman comic books, but I might pick up one of those issues just because the cover looks so good. Yeah, Wonder Woman. Is that Wonder Woman? Interesting take on the character there. This looks like an interesting cover. It looks like Tedesco. There's a Lobos cover. Well, that's a good Lobos cover. Yeah, that's nice. I'm telling you, man, Lobos is like Adam Hughes, man. He's good. That's a great cover right there. I love that cover. I mean, what else do you want? She's on a reindeer. You've got Santa on a reindeer behind her. She's got the lasso out. That cover is phenomenal. Oh, I love that cover. That's going to be a hot book right there. That cover is going to sell out. Oh, thank God it's not an incentive either. It's just a regular. Yeah, I'm going to order a couple copies of that. That's going to be a freaking hot book cover. That's going to be hot. All right, mark my words, guys. That's going to be a hot cover right there. Lobos. Villa Lobos. Take note of that. Write it down. Wonder Woman number 4. I think that Villa Lobos cover is going to be fire hot. People are going to be pre-ordering the shit out of that. All right. What's going on with that Flash cover? Jesus. Some crazy ass covers. I don't know what to think about some of these. Some of them are just a little too out there. Oh, there's so many books. Yeah, I think I'm gonna have to stop after the DC solicitations. There's just too many. There's too many to look at. Green Lantern. Oh, that's an homage to what's that? A Green Lantern. A Green Lantern where you got what's his name? Lobo. Lobo with all the lantern rings. That's definitely an homage to that. I like that. It's pretty funny. That's one of those books I thought about getting a couple times. I've come close to buying it, but I never really quite got the deal I wanted on that book. It sort of eluded me. It's up there in price now for sure. Again, writing on DC books is pretty terrible. I mean, there's only a couple writers that I care for. Most of them are pretty terrible. But there are some good, there are some nice covers. Hey, there's a facsimile reprint of Batman 404. I've got the original in my collection. That's a great series, especially if you've not read it. They got all of them here. 404 through 406, 407, 407. Very nice. Those might be worth picking up so you don't have to pull out the originals and touch them. You can just pull out the facsimiles. I think that cover is going to do well. Black Canary on a motorbike. That's definitely an homage to Prince. That's a Prince homage, right? Pretty sure. So that's for Green Arrow number 7. Oh, man. All right, that's it for DC solicits. Real quick, I'm going to highlight a book I talked about on New Complique yesterday. Birds of Prey. This is going to be definitely one of the hot covers for this next week. Birds of Prey number 2, the 1 in 50 variant by Otto Schmidt. I bought my copy for $70, and obviously I thought I spent too much. But go ahead and look. It's 125, 121. There's somebody asking 180. There's only 3 copies on eBay right now, right? 3 copies. That's it. Oh, this is number 3, 1 in 25 Otto Schmidt, which is not near as good. Yeah. Issue 2, Birds of Prey. If you see that at your LCS for $50, definitely make sure you grab it. The reason I think that book's going to be hot, it's a cool cover by Otto Schmidt. I like it. I think it has an iconic look to it, for sure, with the bubblegum blowing, and it's just a cool looking cover. And it's a 1 in 50, so how many shops are going to order 50 copies of Birds of Prey for the second issue? Maybe 50 copies of the first issue, I could see that happening. But 50 copies of issue 2, that book is just not going to sell that well. It just isn't. Right? DC books don't sell that all that well to begin with. And Birds of Prey has just never been a title that's ever sold very well. So I'm telling you, that has the recipe of being a very, very hot book for a long time. So, yeah. That's my recommendation. There's only 3 copies on eBay right now, and you can see the pricing right there. I mean, this one, 121, but it's going to cost you $30 for shipping. So there's that's a $150 book. And then the other one here from Canada, with shipping, that's basically a $140 book. So the cheapest price is $140. So my $70 purchase seems pretty smart right now. Now, of course, this book doesn't come out till next Wednesday. Who knows? There could be more copies than we're initially thinking, but I think that book could be hot. I don't think there's a lot of copies out there of that book. So be on the lookout for it next Wednesday. See if your local comic shop has it. Maybe call them ahead of. I hate calling ahead of time to say, hey, you have this book, because then they kind of like realize all that, and then they'll look it up and see, oh, it's going for 3 times what I was going to offer it for on eBay right now. So that's the only problem with that. I like it though. I think that's going to be a hot book next week. Other than that, I think that's all I got for you guys. GTG Comics says some cool pre-order books coming out. I like that Conan number 3 second print Zurcher variant, Virgin variant. Yes, that's very nice. I think I did pre-order that one too. The second printing. Yep. GTG Comics says, I see stacks as something is killing the children. Early issues at my LCS. Issues numbers before number 10. Second prints as well. Instead, I stocked up on Immortal Hulk. Yeah. That's okay. Hey, we all make mistakes. You chose poorly, unfortunately. But hey, that's the way it goes. I certainly could have bought more of Something Is Killing Joe. In fact, I had the Sanctum Sanctorium exclusive Ginny Frizen set. I thought I had bought 2 sets of those. I only bought 1, and I resold it to somebody else on eBay. I had to honor it, so I had to let go of those books. Unfortunately, it sucks. I mean, that thing's gone up 3 times from what I paid for it. But it's never too late. I think if the price dips in the coming year or so, just keep watching it. If there's key issues that you want to pick up, just put that to your save list on eBay and just keep watching. Maybe you can get a good deal. I've gotten some good deals on some of those books. I just showed you a couple that I had wanted for a long time, and I just kind of waited for the price to dip a little bit and scooped in and grabbed them. It can be done. It just takes patience. That's all. All right, guys, that's all I had for you. I wanted to go over some of the solicitations for December. I wanted to review that Hot 10 list from CBSI. And that's kind of all I had for you. So I am comfortably in the comic book room now in the new house. It's nice having my own room where I can kind of get away, do my live streams, have my comic books behind me for display. Got some nice little lighting on them. I think so. Basically, on my camera, you can sort of see. You really can't see the ones on the side here too well, but this wall has all my graded books, and then this wall behind me has all my raws. Some of my raw books. There's some at the top there too. So it's kind of like I'm still working on getting the room completed. I've got a couple things. I think I showed you the robot there. Oh, and that's also fairly new. I think I may have shown that before. That's the Imperial Droid. Imperial Droid there. I got a good deal on that there was a company in the UK that was making those. Sideshow wants $1,000 for their, which is a little bit bigger than mine, slightly bigger. But Sideshow wants $1,000. Now, one thing about Sideshows though is they have a little button you can push, which makes the Imperial Droid sound, which is kind of nice. But that was a lot cheaper. That was only like $250. So, I got my Iron Giant and my Imperial Droid and my Meeseeks. There's my Meeseeks. What do you call it? The Windsock Meeseeks. All right, guys, that's what I had for you. Thanks for tuning in. Glad we could get that show off. Tomorrow there will be a Hot 10 list. I don't know what time that's coming out, but expect for me to do another show over the weekend. I'm going to try to do a Saturday show so I can highlight that Hot 10 list. So look for me on Saturday. Hope everyone has a great Thursday evening, and I'll see you soon.